How's it going, everyone? This is Unqualified Adults with Dice, mostly LGBTQ podcast where we play D&D and then talk for 2 hours afterwards. We totally stay on track and don't just talk for 2 hours instead of playing the game. I am Annabelle. I play Estahl Osta. She is a Yanti snake lady, but don't call her that. She is a monk.
Hi, my name is Ash. I play a half-orc Echo Knight fighter who goes by Zen. Her full name is Zenemi Dosk.
My name's Talia. I play Angus, the nerdy knowledge cleric.
Hi, my name is Erin, and I play Mira, the High Elven Pact of the Chain warlock.
My name's Chaz. I'm playing...
God, that's so many dice. Oh, the dice that I see in that picture, the one in the bottom right look most like the dice I have now. They're my favorite. I've had those for forever.
There's nice ones.
I don't need dice tray. I should not be going through Amazon for dice tray.
Dice aren't really my thing. Like, I love buying dice, but my thing is literally anything and everything module or enhancement.
Nice.
Oh my
goodness.
Aaron, holy moly.
I want one like that. Like the fancier one with like the dice around the edges.
The ones at the bottom, those like cyan ones with like the bronze or whatever in. Oh my god.
They're so good looking, guys.
Oh,
For my,
I bet that's a nice clickety clackety.
Comparing us.
For my birthday last month, my girlfriend signed me up for this metal dice subscription service. So every month I get a new set.
Oh my gosh. A subscription?
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know about your feelings on marriage, but that's in my book that's marriage material.
Listen, you gotta have lower standards. Someone who will buy me Taco Bell and let me touch their butt.
Taco Bell? Not even like the
No,
nicer
just Taco Bell.
Alright, Annabelle knows exactly what she wants. And she's going for it. I'm down for that.
Yeah, that's happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were looking for a job and received a letter from a Lady Morwen who invited us to Castle in Daggerford. And we talked with her about a job. Essentially, she wanted us to remove the Vishtani from her land, but also she had that mysterious letter mentioning Barovia, which is supposedly a fictional place, so she wanted us to ask them about that as well. Mira negotiated with the price of it, but she's basically offering us 1,000 gold to get rid of the Vishtani and find out about Barovia. We can only tell her the information, so secrecy is paramount. Once we headed to the Vishtani camp, we met a man named Stanimir, among others, and he told us the story about how a group of enemies had forced them from their home, and they were wandering lost roads until they met a wounded soldier who turned out to be a prince. And because they protected him, he essentially, promised them safety in his kingdom. They said recently a curse had befallen him, turning him into a tyrant, and they are the only ones who can execute the name. So they're looking for heroes to come with them and end the curse. They mentioned a Madam Ava who we should speak to, and then they showed us the way to Barovia. So we walked through a bunch of mist, which was super creepy, and ended up in a small town after trekking through a forest and being, stalked by wolves. And in a tavern called Blood of the Vine, we met Ismark. Oh, I forgot. At the gate, we came across a skeleton of supposedly a courier, and he carried a letter from Kolian Indirovich, which was essentially the truth about Barovia and warning us away from entering, but as soon as we picked up the letter, the gate slammed shut and we were stuck. So when we went to the town and then into the tavern, we met Ismark, who turned out to be the son of the recently deceased burgomaster who originally wrote the letter. And he told us about his sister Irina, who he's hoping to save. Wow, this is a lot. I realized. Because Strahd visits her nightly and takes her blood. So he's trying to rescue her and get her out of here. We ended up going back with him to his place and spoke with Arena, who refused to leave until we buried her father in the grave. But we had to wait till morning. While we were talking, Strahd actually knocked on the door and showed up long enough to threaten Ismark and terrify everyone else. And then he said he'd be back for Arena in the morning. Or, sorry, tomorrow. So the plan is bury the father early in the morning and get out of town as fast as possible.
Yes, that is exactly where we left off. So what has transpired? You guys have taken, and if you haven't already, you have had the effects of the long rest happen. I know not much happened in the way of like spell slots and combat, but you know, if need be, you do have those effects upon you. This morning, you guys rose fairly early, and kind of had like a hush meeting, just because it's early in the morning and not many people shout in the morning. Basically, kind of going over the plan, and what you've kind of come up with is that all of you plus Ismark are going to take the coffin to the church to have it buried, and Irina is going to stay behind and prepare for the journey. So. Getting rations from the stores, getting everything packed up, tents and all that good stuff all ready, so that when you're done and come back, you guys can just head out. So we catch up with all of you carrying this coffin up to the chapel. You see the church. The rain has kind of slacked off a little bit, but it's definitely still kind of a misty, ever-present misty morning. You see a few ravens off in the distance, but the main focus is this church in front of you and the graveyard to the left. The church is in utter disrepair. It is dilapidated and just, honestly, you're kind of scared even going inside of it for fear of it collapsing on top of you. But Ismark kind of ushers you along, and before you get to the door, he kind of gestures to put the coffin down to the side of the door before you guys walk in. So we'll put the coffin down and open the door, and inside, a long hallway leading into the main congregation, this church. Light filters in from the boarded up windows, but it is very much a dark area. Harder to see. Could consider dim light.
Do I recognize which god was worshipped here?
So, no, technically. You actually look around, and you do see a lot of almost very familiar iconography, but for the most part, it's very much alien to what you're used to. Lots of pictures of the sun, though. Lots of imagery of the sun. All around.
I have a
Imagery
question.
of sun.
On our way up here, did we see any wolves?
No, you do not see any wolves. So, if you look, okay, I'm gonna move your guys' player tokens over to the actual map of the village of Barovia. So if you look at roll 20, you'll have an idea of the town itself. Oh, I'm moving it. So up in the top left there, you'll see that's kind of the church that you're at right now.
Right, I just wanted
just
to
to give
make
you an
sure,
idea.
since we were followed by wolves last time,
Of course. Yeah,
that
you're
we
still
were like
in
an
the
actual
village.
town.
And although it does not feel safe by any means, it definitely feels safer than being out in the woods. Ismark there with you, and up at the kind of near to the promenade of the worshipping area, you see a man kind of on his knees with his hands steepled, kind of hunched over in prayer, just kind of speaking. I would like everybody to roll perception for me, please.
Oh, I get to
Alrighty.
test out my brand new die.
Yes. If you did not hear, if you want to use physical die, you can. I trust
I
you.
am just so defeated that I couldn't find my huge ass bag of dice.
That's the saddest news I've heard all day, I'm not gonna lie.
I got a 13.
Even my physical die can't help me.
No.
I can't spell.
Okay.
I swear, I'm perspective. I'm perceptive.
Didn't roll the lowest.
Oof.
My
All right.
goal
Angus, you're kind of like really wrapped up in looking at who this mysterious god is, because I mean, when you travel the world and your knowledge of history, you know of the vast majority of a lot of pantheon. Obviously, there's still mysteries abound, but for the most part, you can kind of recognize, this is late period Ionian or whatever. You know kind of what things are. You can make an educated guess. With this is. It has familiar grasps to pantheons from centuries back, but it's very different. That being said, you are so wrapped up in this, you do not notice the muffled screaming that you can hear, that the rest of the group can hear, coming from seemingly below the church. And all you kind of hear is up at the promenade, you just hear the person bent over in prayer just Ismark kind of turns to and says, "Please, this is priest of our village. Have to understand, his son is not well, very unwell. It is best if we deal with the priest, get our father buried, and be gone from this accursed place, okay?" And this whole time you're still hearing this screaming, just
Not to be that person, but then why are we inside?
we absolutely need the father's help in sanctifying this burial.
Alright, my dude, just keep going. You changing your story every time, whatever.
He looks at you kind of confused, like not really understanding. He kind of moves on past that, and he says, "All right, let's go speak to the priest." And walk up, and the man kind of hears you coming finally over kind of his muffled praying, and looks up and says, "Yes, Ismark. Hello. I apologize. I was lost in prayer. I suppose you are here about..." And with that, you hear just the cry. You can see this kind of shakes him a little bit, and he says, "I suppose you are here for your father's burial. Would I be correct?" Ismark says, yes. This is the group that will help us bury him. The priest looks and says, "My name is Dovovich. Some call me Dorovich. It does not matter. Call me what you like. What are your names?"
It's Zanemi, but you can call me Zen.
I guess, father.
My name's Estahl.
Mira, pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Likewise. Is the body here? And Ismark kind of nods. He kind of leads the priest over to the door and walks out, and he kind of leaves you guys behind. So you can choose to follow if you want to look around. That's fine too. I leave it up to you.
Do we know where the source of like the moaning and crying comes from?
For your character specifically, has
That's
anybody made mention of it? Because otherwise you are still very much lost.
But then would I hear it by now? I'm standing so close. Would I hear Alflight?
Let me take a look at your. Hold on. Let me take a look at your passive.
I would assume Angus has the highest passive perception.
I mean, I
hope
always
so.
roll the lowest, guys.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So at this point, yeah, you definitely hear it. But this time, actually do roll perception, but with advantage for me. Okay. Yeah, you definitely do. So within the church, up on the dais, you see kind of behind the podium itself, there's a rug, a really ratty, nasty-looking red rug, and underneath it, you hear these sounds coming from it, and you can just make out at the corner of a rug, you see what looks like the edge of a trap door.
I think someone's down there? Torture?
He said it was his son, wasn't it?
Oh, very much in pain.
Yes, according to Ismark, he's sick, but here that could mean pretty much anything, I'm sure.
Probably another vampire.
Or an affliction.
Can I walk closer to it? Like, slowly walking closer?
100%? Yep.
Yeah, I just slowly fingers over.
Okay. Yeah, so you slowly kind of walk over there, and as you would imagine, the sound kind of gets a little bit louder, and you make out what he's saying is basically, "Let me out, please, Father. I'm hungry."
I step back and I cast Detect Good and Evil.
Valid.
Fair enough.
Do I sense any undead near me?
Yes. It pings undead.
I walk back to the group. You can see, like, my face is pale. Very pale. Okay. Estahl was right. That is a vampire down there. Or an undead anyway. And very hungry. And I hide behind Zen again.
I guess we'll not touch the trap door then.
Nope.
Where are Ismark and the priest right now? Are they outside?
Yeah, they've kind of walked outside. The door is open. The double doors are open, so you can see they're kind of like talking and kind of gesturing at the coffin a little bit. They're not focused on you, but you can definitely see them at the outside of the door there.
All right, I'll head over there to help with the coffin.
I would follow you because I am still hiding behind you.
I guess I'll go too.
I would just
Gotcha.
follow the rest of the group.
Go ahead.
No, so with my 30 feet, do I sense anything else besides Ducky and the undead son?
Nope, that's all that pinged you. And as you kind of walk away, the undead ping kind of dissipates pretty quickly.
So I walk out away. Okay, that was scary. Nope, never do that again.
It's worth knowing. It's worth knowing.
So as you walk out, you hear Ismark say, "He was a good man. He had his faults, but he did not deserve this death." And the priest says, "Not many do. This land, it is a cursed land, as you know. And as you guys kind of walk out, he kind of looks at you and says, "All right, I've already dug a grave over there in the graveyard. If you would not mind taking the coffin over there, we will be able to bury his father."
Ismark, I'm sorry. I know this is a very sensitive time for you, but I don't
Yes.
recall if you mentioned, how did your father pass?
The most we know is it was his heart. For 3 days straight, when the devil Strahd was attacking our house, he stayed up. He was fretting over Irina, and he towards the end he was just inconsolable. He was irate. He was not himself. And the last night, he just clutched at his heart and he passed.
sorry.
It was lucky though. The last thing he saw was Irina, and I could tell that put peace into his heart. He should not have died this way. And with that, he kind of turns away, and you can tell he's wiping his face and let us get this coffin. We must be off. And he kind of grabs one edge of the coffin and doesn't make eye contact with anybody, but waits for you all to pick it up.
You
Yeah,
got
I'll
it,
grab
boss.
the front end.
Estelle picks up the corner.
I would like to observe the priest. Not for like anything suspicious. I just want to learn what he's doing and try to figure out why would this place specifically and what the priest will be. Why we need the priest
Sure.
to sort of ensure that the father won't rise up as an undead again. I want to learn what he's doing, or at least reason out.
Absolutely. So, and I apologize. I really should have described Dorovich a little bit better. So Dorovich is actually he's a tall man, and as much as and I'll bring him back up here real quick. He wears the robes of that of a cleric or a bishop, but you can tell that underneath these long flowing robes that have suns inlaid on them, with a white cloth, dirtied white cloth underneath, you can tell that he is skin and bones. He is very much gaunt, a gaunt man. And when you look at his eyes, well, you know what? Make an insight check for me.
7.
Yeah, so you look at his eyes, and he seems pretty, normal. Just, you look at him, and you can tell he's been crying. That much is very much readily apparent. And right around his body is a golden chain, and attached to this chain is a very small book, a thick book, but it is small. And he seems to, as you are transporting this coffin to where you can see a freshly dug grave is, you can see he's kind of fingering through the book itself, every now and again licking his finger to kind of move the page a little bit more, trying to, what you can assume is find the right passage and kind of get ready for what he is about to do. You all get the coffin set within the hole that is dug and lower the coffin into the ground. And as that happens, Dorvich walks to the head where the gravestone is, and you can see the gravestone is hastily marked with a Kolyan Indiorovich, and it has nothing else on it. You can tell this gravestone was very hastily made. He finds a particular passage within this book that he has, which you can only assume is the holy book of his temple, and he basically starts to recite a hymnal, but in a language unfamiliar to all of you.
Even me?
Even you. Yes.
I speak
Even you.
Celestial.
Yeah. yeah. And speaking Celestial, that is not easy.
No. I think it's more
but-
like I would understand Celestial. That would be more
Yeah,
appropriate.
speaking, it's more like you have a whole chorus just come out of your mouth, but
No. But I would understand Celestial, I think.
yes. But this, it's almost like every now and again, Angus, you're the only one that kind of catches like glimpses of something fairly familiar, but by the time you kind of think, oh, hey, it's already gone, and it's off to more incomprehensibility within what they're saying. As he's doing this, you feel a little bit lighter, all of you. Not physically, but ever since you've stepped through the mist, there's been just this weight, that imperceptible weight that you haven't realized has been there until this moment when all of a sudden you feel it slightly lift off of you. As I said, his words are incomprehensible, but they're in this droning, almost monotone pitch. After a while, you just kind of get lost in it, and before you know, Eastmark is starting to take a shovel dirt into the grave. And Angus, you notice that at the end, specifically, Dorvich holds his hand up, kind of in a almost like a high five, pulls his hand up and speaks, "In the name of the morning, Lord." And with that, you see the clouds break just for a moment. You don't see sun, but you do see a shaft, a ray of light hit the gravestone. Just for a moment, imperceptibly. You feel weightless in that moment. And in that moment, it's gone. That weight, that heaviness, the mist comes back around and the shaft of light is gone. And Eastmark has started to fill the grave. Dorvich says, "I know Eastmark is not necessarily a man of words, but would any of you like to say any words for this fallen man? I know you may not have known him, but it seems a shame to have him go to rest with no words."
Angus, you're the holiest among us. Do you have anything?
And I sort of nervously stepped up, knowing that speech is really not my thing, but
Another man of the cloth. I am happy to see you. I
Yes.
apologize you are here, but
the moment I step through the fog, I have tried to seal the fact that I am man of the cloth. It's very dangerous revealing that somehow. More dangerous than what is already felt around here.
I will say this, does a wolf care what color sheep it eats?
That is a very wise saying. I sort of turn towards where the coffin is currently being buried, and I do not remember a lot of scriptures. I am not used to giving scriptures. I will say though, you were and are a great man. You love your children greatly, and know that they love you, and know that we will try to protect them for as long as we are traveling together. It wasn't in vain, no matter what you did. You did not die in vain, and nothing you did was in vain. You were a very brave man. And it sort of sent us like a slight prayer, but mumbling inside my sort of my heart, told Mishra to like help this man as well, soothe him and help him move on. Even though it's not Mishra's domain, but I still wish for my goddess hand to help him move on, a bit more at peace in his death.
And Dorvich kind of nods and says, "Thank you. That was lovely." He kind of walks towards you all and kind of gestures with his arms for you to follow him as he kind of walks through the graveyard. Eastmark is still filling the grave, and he says, "Please take a walk with me for just a moment, if you don't mind."
Is there another shovel?
No.
Yeah,
there's
I
only
was-
one shovel.
I was gonna help him, but
There's only one shovel, and even that shovel looks like it is wear and thin. You can see it gets a lot of use in this town.
Follow the priest?
I guess I'll trail behind Angus.
As you walk through the graveyard, Dorovich takes a moment, but then finally speaks up and says, "Ismark has told me of your plan. I think it is wise to get Irina out of here as soon as possible. The devil will have her before the night is out, I can almost guarantee that. Valaki is a good idea. It is rumored to be safe. It is hard to imagine a better place, but I would like to give another option. Should Valaki prove to be untenable, I know Krix, and that's Crezk.
C-R-E-Z-K. Okay.
Yes, Krezk used to be one of the holiest sites in the valley, and from what I understand, there is still much light to be had there. If Valaki does not work for whatever reason, make haste there. Should find protection. I believe Ismark is stuck on Valaki, but no, there are options. Lastly, I would like something from all of you. I know you do not know me, you are new to these lands, and truthfully, you could not care. And rightfully so. But I sense goodness in you. Please, promise me, no matter what happens, you will ensure that Irina is safe. I fear that she has a bigger part in this than any of us know."
I sort of turn towards Zen, so like looking at her, I'm trying to communicate like, "Are you okay with making this promise? Like, I know I promised earlier, but that was with the dead dad. This is like a living guy. Are we okay with promising?" I'm trying to say this with my eyes, because I'm very
Yeah.
nervous saying yes.
I'll look at Dorovich. That is an easy promise to make. My honor would never allow her to die before me.
Yes, I too will try my very best to ensure Irina's safety.
And if I may, Dorovich,
Yes.
have you heard of a sage by the name of Madame Ava?
Yes. Yes, I have. Madam Ava.
We were told by some Vishtani that it was paramount that we speak to her, but we weren't even sure where we'd find her.
He kind of looks off into the distance. His arms are within his robes, kind of like crossed within his robes, and he kind of looks off into the distance and says, "There is one thing you must know. The Vistani are complex people. Some work directly with Strahd. They bring fresh faces into the land so that Strahd has a food source, entertainment, we don't know. At this point, Strahd is an enigma that I don't even think the gods themselves could know. But nonetheless, some Vistani do. Other Vistani still ally themselves with him, but in a peculiar way. They hope to see him cured of this. They view him as a good man driven too far by outside forces. Madame Ava is in that group. I would not say she is a good woman, but I would not say she is a bad woman. She is powerful, and she sees much. If you happen to come across her, I would heed her words well. But just know, only you, and he kind of turns back towards you and says, only you dictate your fate. No seer woman does. But yes, I do know her. And he kind of turns back away for a second. There's a road not far from Barovia. It splits. A crossroads, I should say. Should you take the left path, it will be an arduous journey up the mountain face until you reach the plateau on which Valaki will be rested, a few miles from. Should you take the right path, that will be the encampment with Madame Eva. No doubt she will be expecting you, and no doubt you will find answers just as well as questions. Beyond that will be a very narrow path up a waterfall, and you will end up in the same spot. But I suppose she would say something along the line of, would you be in the same emotional spot? Who knows?
Yes, that's kind of a dumb question.
Well, I would take that up with Madame Eva.
Thank you for the information.
Yes, thank you for telling us.
Of course. And please, protect Irina if you can.
So, speaking of this mistake, there is something that has been burning curiously in my mind. Please do not take this the rude way, but I have never encountered your religious symbols anywhere before on my journey. May I ask, of which deity do you worship?
It is not news to me that the Morning Lord does not make the rounds outside Barovia anymore.
Morning Lord.
Morning Lord, yes. He is the sun, he is the sky, he is all that is good. His sister, the Night Lady, she is the night, she is the stars, she is the moon, she is all that is evil in the world. Just as much as day leads into night and night leads into day, they are intertwined. You cannot have one without the other. The Morning Lord watches over us and ensures that what little hope, what little happiness we have is cherished and bestowed upon us. But a lot have said that the Morning Lord has long abandoned us. I cannot say, but he kind of trails off kind of in his thoughts and he says, I apologize. Did you have more specific questions?
Please, pardon me if this is asking too much. Perhaps you have a tome of sort detailing the religion, perhaps. I am very curious and I wish to learn more.
In old days,
Morning
yes.
Lord.
In olden days, yes, but no longer. The tomes of the Morning Lord have either been burned, desecrated, or destroyed in some manner.
You can now
Lucky few.
Sorry, you can just see like the more he talks about books, especially precious ones being destroyed, just making Angus going like pale but also angry. Like my hands are clenched so tight. My knuckles are, the plate are crackling against each other. Irritating, ear-crackling sound, and my teeth is like grinding a little bit. But I'm trying not to show it too much against the obviously mourning priest. But I'm like,
And as he's speaking, he notices us and he's just kind of like, okay, okay. Like, all right.
my apologies. The devastating news of being done to knowledge are.
He looks you dead in the eyes and he says, the books are by far the best things that have been destroyed. The worst things lie around you. And he kind of gestures at all of the graves that you see. I would trade any of those books for any of these lives. But alas, I do not have that power. Is there anything else?
Sure you, I have many questions, but we are unfortunately on a time limit.
Yeah,
Should
we
one
should-
day
should probably
we
get-
ever return, should one day we ever meet again, I would love to have the pleasure to ask you many more questions.
And I apologize. Mira, was it? Were you saying something?
Just that we should probably get a move on if the whole, impending doom on Irina thing is.
Yes. And as though it was like on cue, you see Ismar coming up, kind of brushing his hands off and says, all right, we have this finished. We need to head out. Father, I appreciate your help. Thank you. You have put my father's soul at rest, and I appreciate this. And he kind of bows to him, and Dorvich does that hand thing again, the high five thing, and then kind of puts his hand down and says, "Go in peace, all of you." And then Ismark starts to kind of walking down the road, and Dorvich kind of heads back towards the chapel. If you have any last minute burning questions, now would be the time. Otherwise, if you guys want to head back to the village, that's
I have
cool.
so many lore questions, but I'm so scared of the DM having like an invisible time, like send. And timer, nope, let's go. Hourglass, right, that's the word. Nope, let's go.
I will say this, Dorvich is very
walking.
much a country priest, so probably only get so much out of them. But there will be more chances for you to satiate that lust for knowledge, so.
Also, Angus was staying quiet earlier because when Dorvich started saying that he will trade the books for the lives of the humans, that was when Angus was like, oh, like, my reaction might have been a bit weird. Something to think about. But then he just pushed it out of his mind. Like, it's there, it's gone. Books were destroyed, and that is sad. So that's all he said.
Makes sense. You guys kind of make your way back to town, and you actually see Irina kind of in the middle of the street. She's got a bag, kind of making her way back to the house, and you all meet. Her and Ismark kind of trade pleasantries and, kind of ask about how everything went. And then Irina looks at you all and says, "I am finishing up what is left at the house. If you need anything before we go, I have rations, I have camping supplies, I have most everything, but if there is anything else you need, there is a shop." And she points towards the shop that I indicated. She says that
We haven't been there yet, right?
have not been there. You've been to the tavern and you've been to Irina and Ismark's place, but you have not been there. You haven't really actually explored the town too much.
Looking at sorry. No, you go first.
No.
I was gonna ask, looking at Ishmael and Irina, do I see any weaponries on them? Anything?
Any what on them?
Weapon.
Weapons, gotcha. So, not yet. You do see that Ismark has a knife on his belt, but otherwise, they very much look like commoners.
I just stare at Irina for a bit and I ask, would you happen to have farming tools? Or a knife? Or a bow? Anything to defend yourself?
Yes, we do. I have my father's sword, and Ismark has his hunting bow, so we will not dead weight. We will be able to pull that weight, so you will not have to worry about it.
Just look at her, and I remember about last night. I do not ask her if she knows how to use that sword. I just give her like a respected nod, like, yes, I see, I understand. Perfect. That's it.
Fantastic.
Intimidates me in the best way.
So they kind of walk off, and they before they walk off, they kind of say, "Listen, we will need just like an hour or two before we have to go. We have to put everything in order. We have to tie up some loose ends around town. But please meet us here within that time range, and then we will head out immediately." Yes.
Would that be smart? Not to say that it's dumb. I'm sorry. I don't mean to say it like that. We are essentially announcing ourselves leaving. A lot of people. We sure we won't be tipped off early? I've been told that apparently Strahd is a little inactive, weaker-ish in the day, and I look up at the cloudy sky, hopefully. But I am sure that not all of his armies are met with the same restrictions. This could be us announcing very clearly where we're going and which way, and when as well. Is somewhat asking for an ambush.
Irina looks at you and says, "I do appreciate your concern. However, we do know what we are doing, so you do not need to worry about it. That is part of the reason why we are taking this time, is so that it does not look as though we just up and left."
He does also know that we're already here, so it's not like we can be any more sneaky.
I admire the preparation. We can occupy ourselves for an hour.
Please, as soon as your that time frame is up, please meet us back here, and we will head out. Yes.
Not repeatedly, but now I'm like, before I might have fidgeted a little bit with my hands. Now I'm full on like just anything my hand can get on. It's squeezing, scratching, moving a little bit.
So they do kind of walk off, and you are kind of left to your own devices at this point. As I said,
could
if you're
follow them.
you could follow them if you want to follow them. I will.
We're not
point out-
stealthy.
Yeah, you could try to be. I will point out just a few locations, just so that you're aware of them.
I would like to tell Ducky to turn into a spider and to follow them.
So he turned into. He's like, yeah, okay. Turned into a spider and like kind of attaches himself to one of their bags while you guys were speaking.
Okay, wait. Mira, are you next to me? Imagine where we currently standing position-wise. Are you standing close to me? And Ducky turns into a spider? Okay, the moment I see that spider, I let out like a squeal, and Sacred Flame just appear on my hand, ready to shoot. And remember, it's Ducky, but Sacred Flame is still on my hand.
So do this for me. Technically, he has advantage with stealth rolls as a spider, but because of Angus's kind of outbursts, it will negate that. So roll stealth for Ducky.
Roll stealth for Ducky. LCB Crips. I'm sorry. I'm scared of spider.
Irina kind of looks back after you do that, but you luckily kind of put everything away and kind of regain your composure just in time. And she just kind of gives you an odd glance and then just keeps walking.
When they're a little further away, I'm going to turn to Angus. You've seen him do that 1,000 times. Why does it still surprise you?
I hate spiders. Spiders are. Oh my goodness. Oh, all those eyes and the crawlings. And don't you remember when we went into ruins and there's so many of them and they're everywhere? And I can't sleep when they're near me. I swear, I hear them walking in the night and they're just everywhere and they make webs on every single location. I have webs in my books, in my hair.
Angus. He's not a real spider. He's an imp.
A warning would still be nice next time.
Got
I
it.
mean,
Maybe some kind of hand signal or something so that I don't tip off whoever I'm trying to follow with him.
Just. I'm very flustered right now.
I just imagine Angus just goes, and just falls to the ground.
Yeah, so close, his eyes almost roll to the back of his head. Just imagining it happening again, and he just does this to himself. He imagines it. He has an active imagination. He imagines the imp becoming a spider close to him again.
I think seeing this, Estahl goes, what you should really be afraid of is snakes, and she makes snake fang things with two of her fingers and kind of just does the motion with her hands.
It has the opposite effect of what you were hoping for.
She's making fun of you. I don't know if she picks it up, but
No, I don't. The moment you show a sort of different characteristic, it's 180. I went from, I'm gonna fake to, interesting. Hang on, let me just observe a little bit more. Lean in a little bit, stares a little bit.
Okay, I think that's enough messing with Angus for today. Let's go check out the store, I guess.
Angus, it was a joke.
Oh,
Snake.
Oh, right.
And she gestures to herself.
Right. Hey, I'm aware.
So I think we should go to the store and buy a shit ton of steaks to stab these guys in the heart if we run into them.
Does that work normally, or is there a special circumstance for steaks to work?
I think technically they have to be in a coffin. So maybe not a shit ton, but we should have a couple on hand, I think.
Perhaps they need to be pointy and made of wood and aim for the heart.
Or we could buy some actual food because all they had at their house was bread.
They're bringing rations, they said, at least.
And running
but how
out
do
of
we
turkey.
know it's not just gonna be bread?
Fine, we can go to the store and see what their food selection is.
I will tag along.
So you make your way down the muddy road, and as you're walking, even from the day before, you heard wails and cries of seemingly a woman off in the distance. You can kind of pinpoint it towards somewhere off to this side of town, but her crying and wailing is loud enough that you can hear it all the way over here. As you walk up to the store, you see an old rickety sign over the door. It's faded, but you can read out Bildrath's Mercantile. The curtains are drawn within, but you do see a tiny bit of lamplight kind of coming through. And you open the door, ding-a-ling-a-ling, and you see a pretty well-provisioned store. Not something that you would necessarily be expecting, considering the outside. And as soon as the doorbell kind of dingles, you see a man kind of come through. Yes, customer. How may I help you?
We're looking for some provisions and wood.
It seems everybody's looking for provisions today, huh?
Is this your thing, my guy? Like, a little weird.
He looks at you and he says, "You're one to talk, are you not?" And he turns away and picks up some small little boxes, about the size of your fist, or 2 fists, I should say, and puts them in front and says, "This is all I have left of ration boxes within this store."
Peek in. Are they good still, or do they look like they're about to expire and rot?
So you peek in and you realize what this is. It is a ration commonly known as panacea, and it is essentially what you can imagine as a nutrient bar. It's very dense, it's very tough, it does not expire. It will keep you going. It is not tasty.
I've eaten worse.
And he kind of looks at you and says, "Each box is 150 gold."
Estahl just laughs at him.
And how long would each box last?
It depends on how much you eat, I suppose.
Hey, with my genius brain, would I suss out how many would each of us need? That box?
Yeah, I mean, if you were to kind of analyze it, just what you kind of know of Panacea, because it is fairly common within the region, just among adventurers and mercenary groups. Considering how much everybody eats, 1 box would probably last you a month.
Okay, so this will last us a month. Okay.
Do we have we like gotten any kind of gauge on how long it's going to take us to get to Valaki?
Not really. No. Nobody's kind of asked, and the map that you have isn't exactly to scale.
As mercenaries, and we must have traveled by ourselves and together for quite a while before we became a mercenary group. And I'm just reasoning it out before I try to convince the DM. Thus, we should all have known how much rations would cost, depending on which type.
Yes.
We know if this man is literally scamming us.
This man is fleecing you beyond belief.
Oh yeah, it's definitely an upsell.
Yeah, I know. I just turn around and I look at Mira and I give Mira this look. This place
All of you should know.
Guy's an idiot.
Panacea goes for
The
just it goes for maybe like at most 10 gold.
Pennies on the dollar kind of thing.
Yeah, it is not something that is hard to make. Does require very set ingredients that are plentiful in the rest of the lands, but with Barovia, you're unsure.
Estahl puts her hand on one of the boxes and looks at him and goes, 50 gold, and I want to try to intimidate him.
Okay. Roll intimidation for me.
I feel like that's still too much.
No. Yeah.
21. Okay.
Oh,
all
never
right.
Got
mind.
him.
You don't need.
I
need
still think
help.
that's too much though.
No. We gotta go low one by one.
All right. Kind of talk me through what you're doing here. Like obviously putting your hand on there and saying, but kind of guide me through the moment.
She has her hand on it and she says 50 gold, and she kind of just wants to just stare at him, just real intimidating like.
So he leans back and kind of puts his hands into a steeple position. If you need it, you will pay the full price. If you don't, the door is right there.
Well, listen, sir, you are clearly a very intelligent businessman. I get what you're going for here. How about we discuss a trade, maybe?
Or we can just take it and leave.
He looks at you, and as you can see kind of in the photo, his eyes kind of flash bright green for a moment, and then before it's even perceptible, it fades, and he says, "You can most certainly try."
Still, I don't think it'd be wise to cause more trouble.
Would Estahl have noticed this, since she's like making direct eye contact with him?
Roll perception with advantage for me.
I noticed? No, I don't think I would notice, no.
That was weird. Okay, that's not...
Yeah, no, you don't. You get a hint of like something's not right with him, but you don't notice that. And he looks back at Mira and he says, "You said something of a trade."
Yes. First off, before I continue, I would like to attempt to use Fey Presence. That would mean that as an action, I cause each creature in a 10-foot cube originating... I'll just click on it.
Okay.
Technically,
Gotcha.
Angus is always charmed by Mira, technically.
So here's the rule: if you want to, you don't have to roll to save from something. If you want to auto fail it, it's within your right. Okay. What is your DC? Your Warlock spells DC?
It's 13.
Gotcha. So wisdom saving, right? Everybody. Apparently, everybody needs to make this. So whenever you're ready.
All right. Yeah, no, I failed.
Oh.
By 1, which is...
That
lame.
sucks for you, because I have advantage on this. Let's see if I roll good. Alright, well. 17.
Yeah, it still fun.
Can't be
Okay.
charmed, but I still let myself get charmed anyway.
Okay, so Estahl, you're kind of like oblivious to all this. Like, okay, before we get into that, Mira, describe what you're doing, how this Fey presence kind of comes through you, and are you doing frightened or are you doing charmed?
I'm just gonna I'm gonna like touch his shoulder and kind of bat my eyelashes at him, and then like something like blows maybe, or I don't know.
Okay, like a fair wind blows. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so Estahl, you're just kind of looking at this and just like, oh, Mira's doing her thing again. Everybody else is just absolutely like, their eyes are glued to you. All except Bildrath. Bildrath is just dead fish-eyed, just like staring at you.
You seem like a shrewd businessman, and I have a great opportunity for you in this trade. I have this bag of magical sand that can turn a person invisible, and I'd be willing to part with it for these rations because we really desperately need them.
I would like to see it used.
Of course. And I take a pinch of the regular sand that I have in my bag.
Mhm.
I sprinkle it over myself, and I cast invisibility on myself.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. All right. Let me roll stealth for me. It is verbal and somatic.
Man, we're not even aware of this.
You know, I'm too charmed by
I have no
Mira,
idea
I
what
guess.
she's doing.
You guys are like, oh my god.
Would I be able to help Mira with this?
Yeah,
I'm,
if
like,
you wanna
distracting
provide help, yeah. Then if that's the case, roll with advantage. Oh, okay, 15.
Yeah.
All right. So you see Bildrath, and I mean his face has not changed. He says, "How long does this last?"
Hold on 1 second, I have to read my spell. I don't remember how long it lasts. Oh, the magic sand. It lasts 8 hours. It is really top of the line stuff.
Now, are you still invisible?
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna stay invisible just in case.
Okay. So he kind of like, he doesn't say a word. He just kind of backs away from the counter and kind of almost robotically walks to the other end of the counter here and pulls out this like brass machine that has like a whole bunch of buttons on it. And he starts like wildly pressing buttons, just and he presses the button and goes ding and ding, ding.
But ASMR.
Yeah. He kind of regards it for a moment, goes, puts the machine down and just robotically ambles right back up and says, "I will give you 1 ration for this."
1 box of ration?
1 box of rations, yes.
You know what? All right. Because I like you so much, I'll take it. And I set the bag of sand down on the thing.
Okay, and it just kind of like appears out of nowhere because it was attached to you, and all of a sudden it just boop, and he kind of takes the bag, takes one of the boxes of rations, puts it where the bag was, and sets the bag of sand down and says, "Is there anything else that you are looking for?"
Nope. I don't think so. I think we should head out, guys. I think. But thank you so much. Have a good one. And I try to like.
Of
Correct.
course.
You see Zen kind of like blinks and shakes out of the trance a little bit.
Yeah, and the whole time while you guys are doing this, his eyes, even though you're invisible, he's still locking eyes with you, Mira. The whole time.
Would I be out of the trance by now?
It's supposed to last until the end of our next turn.
Yeah, so you're definitely out of it. It's kind of like a few seconds, so...
Good, because now I want to know what he is.
You can try either an Arcana or History check with disadvantage.
Right? We'll walk out first then.
Sure,
Walk out the shop first. Once we're out and I look around to make sure no one's around, I cast guidance on myself.
Okay.
I will try to determine what manner of being did we just meet in there.
Can you think and walk? Because he's gonna realize real quick that that's not real magic, and we gotta go.
Oh my god, Mira, where are you? Oh, never mind. Oh yes, lead on. I can't see you.
Oh, I turned visible again, I guess.
Oh wow, what did you know, guys? Natural 1.
I thought it was the 17. Did that not count?
Disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Yeah, no, he's just like a real nice storekeep. Like,
Nice, quote
he seems
unquote.
like he's like pretty cool, you know?
What a strange shopkeep.
That was odd. I think I spaced out there for a second.
No, it's just Mira doing her thing.
Mira, why didn't you tell us we had invisible sand artifact with us? I'd love
That was
to
a-
study it.
A lot of trouble to go through for rations that we don't necessarily need, but
Yeah, I'm real confused. Usually the old spooky glare gets the job done.
yeah, I think he was. I had intended to buy like wood or stakes there, but now we can't go back, so
I'm sure there are plenty out in the wild.
let's just get ready to leave.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Probably far away from the store.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Far away from the store.
Okay, so you spent maybe about like 20-25 minutes in the store. So you still have about 30 minutes to kill. If you want to go back to the inn, you can. Like I said, there's still the wailing that you can hear.
Do we really want to walk around the streets? I hesitate to be out in public for too long.
I second that.
I think we should just go back to the inn and hang out. Be
Fine
inside
with me.
somewhere.
All right, so we'll head back to our rooms.
Yep.
Or the inn.
Okay. So you don't actually have rooms at the
Yeah, I was gonna say we
No,
didn't
sorry.
do that.
The other place.
Right now doesn't seem like the best
Yeah.
time to explore.
You make your way back to the Burgomaster mansion, and you see that Ismark are both packing. He sees you coming. He says, "You're early."
Well.
Yeah, we stole some stuff, so we had to leave.
Oh no, we did not stole. We
arranged a trade.
We
just
deceived
kinda
him
looks-
into stealing his items.
Are you talking about Bildrath,
Yeah, the spooky guy? Yeah.
the store owner? Bildrath. You scammed Bildrath?
Yeah. And Estahl has a smile on her face.
Like she looks so proud, but I look so scared.
I will say that is a hard feat to do, but I don't know if I would rest easy.
Oh.
Good on
Right.
you, but oh,
I pull out the box of rations we just bought and just literally cast purify food and drink. If you have any questions that you just wanna make sure are
so wait.
Okay.
Did you skin Bildrath for this box of rations?
Yep.
He kind of like steps back and he just puts his hand on his face and he reaches into the bag and he pulls out 3 of the boxes and sets them down and says, "Well, we will not run out of food."
You really paid full price for that?
No, of course not. Bildrath owes us favors. Also, I am the Burgomaster.
So you got it for free. So You
Or
basically did nothing
Fam-
for it.
Family and friends discount.
Correct. Would you rather have paid 300 some odd credits for this? Some gold, I should
No,
say.
we paid him a bag of
Okay.
sand for this.
A bag of
Estahl.
sand?
I think you're being overly honest.
Estahl,
We're
please.
we're leaving anyways. Like they're coming with
But
us.
we haven't left yet.
He just kind of
He's
puts
not
his fingers to his eyes, and he's just like, oh.
He's
oh,
not
gosh.
outside listening to us. He's still at his
Yes,
store,
but plausible
probably.
deniability, right? You know,
Listen.
you keep it within a closed circle.
Bildrath is not a kind man, and he is very much the tit for tat type of man. Yes, I will put it bluntly to you. When we leave today, I would not come back to the village of Barovia.
I do not wish to
It
come
would
back.
not be safe in the best of times, and now you have made it very unsafe.
To be fair, Irina did say if we needed rations or anything else, we should go to the store.
She did not say scam him, did she?
If we knew that you were gonna get all these rations, I wouldn't have tried to get more.
That is fair. That is fair. Irina, I can definitely see that issue. And I apologize. If you had actually given up gold on this, I would reimburse you. But it does seem that
It's a bag of
paid a
sand.
bag of sand. So
But it was brilliantly done.
Just stand up, dust my hand. I finish purify our food.
yeah, you purify the food, and it does get much better. But you can it smells at least palatable now. So it's
For your poison and disease, guys.
After you do that, you hear a boom, 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 and you see Irina coming down the steps, and she is decked out. Like she has like a leather gambeson on, leather pants, like a leather, like almost. It's not a trench coat, but it's kind of like a half coat. Kind of goes down to her knees with like a high collar, and you see a sword, an ornate sword, kind of attached at the hip, and she's got her kind of hair pulled back in a hastily made bun, and she's got her bag kind of over her shoulder, and she says, you're early. I suppose I am done. Ismark, and he kind of nods, and she looks over at you and says, did you get everything that you needed from Bildrath?
I just
You can
broke
say
out
that.
in like this sort of
Plenty.
nervous giggle, like sort of like the panicky, oh my god, I start the day like this, giggles.
Wow. This is great. We're the worst at keeping secrets. Alright.
She just kind of looks at all of you and says, I will take this as a yes. Anyway, shall we? And she kind of gestures to the door, and you guys kind of make your way out onto the road. Unless there's anything else that you want to say, do, or see, speak now or forever hold your peace, because coming back here is probably not a good idea.
It'll be fine. Estahl is used to that.
I just say,
Yeah.
well, everybody's like prepared to go. I just say, wait, hang on, give me just a minute, guys. Just
Sure.
1 minute. The loo, I must use it. Yes, that's right. We won't want to do it in the wild. Nope. I just run off.
Okay.
Keep inside the house. And I'm sure nobody can hear me, and I pull out my ending stone, content of which I will DM the DM later.
While he's doing this, Irina kind of looks over and says, is that boy okay? He
No.
seems high-strung.
His personality. Mira would know the most.
Is he
He's-
okay?
No, he's fine.
Pretty fun to scare.
Maybe lay off that while we're here. So don't think we need more nerves. And does Angus feel the presence of his goddess while we're here?
So I feel good
Oh.
questions, and the same I feel like because I've been praying the night before as well.
But for the most part, whenever you pray, it's never, unless you're like a really top archbishop, you rarely ever feel like the absolute presence of your deity, right? It's more like, hey, you're sending this line out hoping to catch something, hoping to catch their attention. So even if you did sit there and pray, you wouldn't necessarily notice anything. Now, the clerical powers that you have still work, but I will give you this. whenever you cast them, you notice that they kind of flicker, kind of like a candle. It's not that they're not there providing that warmth and light, it's just the darkness around it seems to be diminishing it. But with that being said, you guys start off on the road.
While we're walking, once we get like out of town a little bit, and Mira's gonna drop back behind the group and ask Ducky if he saw anything unusual when following them.
Ducky kind of looks at you and says, "No, not really. I mean, they seemed like they were just kind of in a rush more than anything. You know, the lady, she's real nice. She seemed to really care about her brother, and he seemed to be having a hard time. But other than that, they seem all right."
Fair enough. Good job.
Thanks. You head out on this road. You're kind of in this clearing of woods, much as the environment I'm showing you, but the woods are kind of off to the distance a little bit. The mist is ever present, always. It is constantly around you, and as you get closer and closer to the woods, the mist starts to get a little thicker and thicker.
As we're walking, I think Estahl would be on the lookout for wolves to see if they see any again.
Absolutely, same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I would help Estahl as I keep a lookout as well.
Right now, you're not seeing anything. You are hearing the odd crow, and occasionally you do hear a howl in the distance, a woo off, but it's far, far away. You don't necessarily hear it close. So you start to walk. In about an hour and a half just walking down this road, you actually come across a bridge that crosses over a portion of the river that cuts through Barovia.
Bridge look like it can hold one person?
It's a fairly large bridge. It's definitely older, but it looks sturdy. It doesn't look like it's going to give way at any point in time. You all walk across this bridge. What order are you walking in?
Probably in front. And do we notice anything on the water or on the sides?
Before we cross the bridge, can I see anything on the other side of the bridge?
Sure, yeah. Roll perception for me.
Oh,
Okay.
18.
So 18. So you kind of look around. You don't see anything. But what you have noticed is that the woods are deathly quiet.
Don't like that.
Naturally quiet, like no crickets, no crows.
Nothing. You hear the running of the water, but even that seems to be muted in some way.
Yep, I turn around. So, just so everybody's aware, you can still hear stuff on this side, but there's nothing on the other side in the water. So it's either everything over there is dead, or there's something so much scarier that everything over there is quiet throughout.
And what are your marching orders?
Send in front.
In front? Okay.
Mira would be towards the back.
Okay.
I would like to be close to the siblings, and I would encourage them to be more middle-ish, so we can protect them better.
Yeah, they're definitely in the middle.
Then I'll be like second or so.
How long is the bridge?
You guesstimate it's about 20 feet or so. You guys get halfway across the bridge. You all hear a deep, low growl come from the side of the bridge that you're walking towards, the woods that line the road. You see a hulking wolf, about the size, you'd almost guesstimate about as a bear, walk out of the forest line. The deep, low growl kind of vibrates, even from that distance, about 15 feet away. Even from that distance, it seems to vibrate even the insides of your stomach. But what's most concerning is the response growls behind you. Turn around and you see 3 wolves, while not as large as the wolf in front of you, would still put the fear of any god in a lowly commoner. Walk out from the woods howling. Roll initiative!
Initiative.
So I still have a question.
Sure, yeah.
Can I use animal handling on wild animals, or is it only pets or friendly aligned?
So you can, it depends on what you're trying to
I just
do.
want to know if they like want to specifically kill us, or just want us to, or just going to like beat us up so that we leave. Like
gotcha.
there's a very clear distinction there that needs to Estahl needs to be made.
Right, of course. Yeah, so that wouldn't necessarily be That would not necessarily be animal handling. That would be more either survival or investigation more than anything. You could also make an argument for nature. I would definitely take an argument for nature. What you're specifically trying to do, I would say roll a nature check on that.
Are you sure it's not survival?
I'm too flustered to even
It is
think
not.
about
The
it.
only
Okay.
reason I would say not survival is because survival is more about being able to subsist within the land, being able to use the land and track different animals. When it comes to the behavior of said animal, such as a territorial type thing or whatnot, that would be more nature and like understanding, like, hey, this is what this beast normally does. So just looking at these beasts, yeah, this is definitely not normal wolf actions. They are very much in attack mode, and it is not something that they can, you can just be like, all right, sorry, and walk away from. So first up, we have Mira. What you doing?
So there's one big one ahead of us, and how many were behind us?
3.
I'm gonna turn around and face the ones closest to me. I guess in the middle. I am going to fire an Eldritch Blast.
Ooh, yeah.
Thinking that probably doesn't hit.
So I think you're definitely right. So you kind of, these wolves kind of come up to you, and you channel your energy and put it into a powerful little blast and toss it up, but the wolf kind of preternaturally dodges out of the way, and the blast kind of goes wide and hits the back of the path.
I'm gonna draw my crossbow just to have it ready and just, that's it.
Estahl, you are next. You're second in line, so you're closer to the big wolf, but you're more in the middle.
I am going to move up to the Beagle Wolf, and I am going to attack with my Fists of Fury.
Fist of Fury. Okay, cool. 19. Beautiful. That does hit. Yeah, so you put all your effort into your strike, and well, actually, I take that back. You tell me what you do.
I think she's just treating this as she's trying to treat it just as some other opponent instead of, holy shit, there's this huge ass wolf in front of her. Because that's her mentality when she fights anyone, it's just some dude she has to beat up.
Hit this wolf square in its jaw, but you notice it just kind of takes the punch and just keeps its eyes squared on you. Angus, what are you doing?
I am going to go again, because I am a monk.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, you're a monk. You're a monk. You have like 1 billion attacks.
Use my good old key point, and I'm gonna attack twice more, because that's what monks do.
8?
17.
Oh, okay. Why did it roll twice?
Oh, because I can attack twice.
Oh, right. Okay.
Because I spent the key point, so it's 2 instead of 1.
Nice. Okay, so yes, one of those does hit, the other one does not. Yeah, 3, perfect. Okay. It kind of ducks out of the way of one of your punches, but you kind of hit it with an uppercut. But oddly, you still have that same sensation. It's just kind of, it takes your hit and just keeps staring at it, growling.
I'm gonna use my special monk technique, and it can't take any reactions. And to use it, I have to have spent a key point attacking.
Okay. Is there anything else
that
you
is
would
my
like to do?
turn.
Okay, perfect. All right, now Angus.
I believe that Estahl and Zen can probably move the front a little bit. I turn and look at the 3 behind me. I'll cast Bane. Made a charisma saving throws. Wolf better be
Perfect.
very charismatic.
What is your saving throw? 15?
Tell me they all save.
13, she said.
13. Okay. Think. Okay. No. you see, you kind of cast your hand, and this kind of ethereal darkness settles over one of the wolves. The 2 on its side both kind of have this settling over it, but they kind of shake their fur, kind of like any dog you've ever seen, shaking.
Dang it.
And it dissipates this darkness, but the one directly in the middle has the darkness just kind of lingering over. It is now the twins. Excuse me, they're not actually twins. I don't know why I keep saying that. brother and sister. So Irina will go first. She's actually in front of Ismark, and she draws her sword and steps forward towards the werewolf. She takes her sword, and the first two swings that she has raise the wolf, the werewolf. The third one kind of strikes at its paw, and you hear, you see a little bit of blood kind of come up, and it kind of backs up a little bit. Its eyes now directly fixed on Irina, and she just kind of looks over at you, Zen, and says, I don't know if this is a normal wolf.
Definitely not.
You see one arrow fly right past the wolf's face. You kind of see out of the corner of your eye, Ismark has fired off a shot, and he's kind of turned around and fired another shot at the wolves behind. He's directly in the middle, on top of like the height of the bridge, and one arrow kind of flew in front, and now he's turned to the other wolves, and he's actually aimed at the wolf directly in the middle there, the one that is affected by Bane. It kind of strikes near the tuft of the neck, and you hear the wolf kind of go, that it is Zen's turn.
Okay, so you see Zen pull the longsword out from her back, and she hefts her shield up, and then she's gonna run forward towards the big werewolf. And as she's running, you'll see almost like a gray kind of smoke coalesce off of her, and then manifest behind the wolf as she runs up to the front. And then she's going to take one big swing, kind of aiming for his feet. And I'm going to use Unleash Incarnation, and the Echo is going to take another swing at the back, behind legs. First one is an 11, which probably misses.
It does.
And second one, natural 20.
Yeah, that hits. That crits. Yeah.
This is the Echo.
Yes, go.
Perfect. Yeah. All right. Fantastic. Yes.
So, do we do two?
Yeah, I do too. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Oh, these are d6s. I need a d8. So that's 9 plus 3 is 12, and then plus another 2 for dueling. 14.
You kind of swing your blade wide, and it kind of distracts the wolf enough for your Echo to get this massive hit on the back. And as your Echo kind of drives its blade into its back, it is almost met with, as though it's hitting granite or some type of stone. It just, the wolf kind of turns and looks, and then turns back to you, seemingly unaffected.
Supernaturally tough. Okay, and that ends my turn.
Alright. So we are now at the other wolves. So these wolves kind of walk up to you, Mira. The way that the bridge is set up, they all three are able to kind of come up and almost surround you. Now, I imagine, Angus, that you kind of have already walked up a little bit. So I assume, are you guys side by side?
No worries. Yeah. I would probably be alongside Mira by now, because I pull up my mace, so I'm like mace up, shields up.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, so you have the baned wolf right in front of you, and you have a wolf on either side of you. So, Mira, you have one on your left, and Angus has one on his right. The one next to Mira is going to swing at Mira. 15 hits you, right? I imagine.
Yeah, I forgot to put on mage armor. I have an HP.
Yes.
Did you say 10?
Yeah, you should be above that. Your armor class is 10 plus your dex modifier.
I have a dex modifier of 0.
So with mage armor, that is on top of that. So your AC should be 4.
I didn't have armor.
Oh, you haven't cast it yet. Okay.
That's right. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you said you had casted it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then it's gonna take a nice little chomp out of you. All right. You take 4 damage.
Ooh.
All right.
Oh, no.
So this wolf, it takes a nasty little chomp out of you, and as it kind of like pulls away, it actually gets caught on the sides of your clothing, and it actually yanks you to the ground. So you are now prone.
I might have to turn around.
Yeah. The wolf in the middle, seeing this, definitely takes advantage. Yeah, that hits. Sorry, Mira. And you actually take another 4 damage.
At that, I'm gonna use my reaction to cast Hellish Rebuke.
Oh, nice. Okay, perfect.
You have Hellish Rebuke? Yeah.
Warlock.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, so you have to make a dexterity saving.
Okay. Let me go ahead and do it on. Okay. I rolled a 15.
So you save, but you take half as much damage.
Okay. Perfect.
I
That's
rolled
2d10. Okay. And do you want me to roll that 2d10 or do you want to roll it?
A 2 and a 5.
Okay. Gotcha. And is that already halved or do I need to have it?
No, that is not half.
Okay. Gotcha. Perfect. Okay. And then lastly, the wolf on the side of Angus is going to attack. Okay. You're 15. You're at 15, right? Sorry, I should have everybody's AC written down. I'll make sure I have that prepared next time we have combat. I apologize, guys. It actually just grazes you. So the wolf kind of tries to chomp onto one of your pieces of armor, but it seems like it just can't get purchase and kind of backs up and kind of seemingly reassesses what it's trying to do. But with that being said, it moves on to Mira. You are prone, so bear that in mind. But it is your turn.
Would Eldritch Blast be at disadvantage? Is that like a ranged attack? Would that be a disadvantage firing so close, or would I?
Correct. Yep. Because they're on top of you, it does require a certain amount of footage before you're able to make it effective. Actually, I take that back. It is... They don't actually have a minimum range for Eldritch Blast. Color me surprised. No, it's up to 120 feet, so there is no disadvantage. Now, you are prone, so if you're still prone, you would have disadvantage, but it's fairly easy to get back up.
Right, I
just use half
my movement.
Yep.
Okay, so I will stand up. And I will... Alright, I will cast Eldritch Blast then. So 6 plus 5 is 11.
Gotcha. So that you do launch your attack, but it seems like these wolves are just oddly quick, and they dodge out of the way once more. So we move on, and Estahl, it is your turn.
Alrighty. Well, he is going to use a key point again and go in for an attack on this big ol' wolf.
Fantastic.
Nice.
16.
Nice.
Does that hit?
Oh, it definitely hits.
Alright. So now it needs to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Alright, I can do that. Okay, I got 9, so I'm assuming that doesn't pass.
That does not pass, no. It is knocked prone.
Oh my god.
So
Okay.
she basically hits it in like opposite ends to try to throw it off balance and knock it over.
Perfect. Yep, and that's exactly what happened. So, it's kind of looking at Zen because it's the last person that really kind of threatened her. And as it's doing that, you kind of just like go poof, and do kind of a sweeping leg maneuver, and all of a sudden it's just like looking up at the sky, and it's like, wait, what?
Hold on, let me just check something real quick. No, that's what I'm checking. I just wanted to make sure if I could do anything or if I had to attack. Well, I could do nothing, but my only other option is to attack. So now that it's on the ground, she's just gonna punch the crap out of it.
Alright.
And is this at advantage since it's prone?
It is. Yep.
Alright,
Nice.
well, one of those
So-
is good.
Yeah. So the 18 definitely hits. So you kind of hit him straight in the face as he's kind of looking up. Again, you don't know if that really is doing much to him, but he's definitely pissed off. That much you definitely know.
Alright, so that is 9 damage.
I don't think it's taking any damage.
That's all. You just see Estahl just punching the crap out of this wolf that's now on the ground.
Werewolves are weird, man. But I mean, I don't know that, but.
Fantastic. Well, if that's all, then Angus, it is your turn. Just to kind of reiterate, you have one wolf to your right, and the banged wolf to your left, which is kind of in the middle between you and Mira.
Can I try to move around the wolf in the middle between me and Mira? Like, still within that wolf attack melee, so it won't opportunity of attack me. Sort of I'll go around to Mira, grab her, and just yeet her. Try my best to yeet her far away.
Throw her?
Yeah, I slide you along the bridge. Hope it's slippery.
Okay.
I get
So-
closer to Ishmael, I guess.
If you move towards Mira, you will incur one opportunity attack from the wolf to your right. The one in the middle won't, but you will incur one opportunity attack.
I'll tank it. I'm sorry, I cannot English. Yeah, I'll tank it.
That works. I get you. All right, let me. Well, no, he's good. You definitely maneuver out of the way of this wolf bite. He's just not having a good day.
Grab Mira and like, Mira, I'm sorry! And I just slide her way over.
Thanks, pal.
I don't know if it works. So
Now, Mira, are you just allowing this to happen?
I mean, I'm gonna try and stop myself from falling over, but I will allow her to push me backwards.
Okay, gotcha. So roll strength for me, Angus.
here's the thing, I have no modifier of strength. On a horrible day to be a no strength cleric. Alright. Strength. Yes! It's not natural 20, but it's 18, which is high enough.
Perfect. So, yeah, you kind of grab Mira and just like toss her. Now, Mira, I want you to make a acrobatics check for me.
Oh, good, because I'm super decked.
You see Angus just kind of like grab you and just like yeet you kind of a few feet backwards, more towards Ismark and the rest of the group.
This is a surprise, because Angus is the smallest of everybody and has shown to be a noodle
you
arm.
have no idea where the strength came from. All of a sudden, Angus is just like, and just like launches you. Now, you're not like gracefully flipping through the air, but you kind of like do a little tuck and roll, and then kind of you land on your feet. You're a little kind of wobbly, but you're still upright, which is all that matters. So you're kind of in between where the wolf, the big wolf, and the other three are kind of like pounding on it. You're in between that and Ismark, who's at the climax of the bridge.
Maneuver myself again so that my back is like towards where Ishmael is. So it's me against three wolves.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Yep, absolutely.
And
Wow.
I just glare as menacingly as I can. It's not that menacingly.
God, our rear is not doing great.
I'm shivering in my boots, and nobody saw me throw Mira. Nobody saw that besides Mira and myself.
Ismark was already looking that way, so he saw that. He saw that feat of strength. So he's like, oh my god, okay. A nerd threw that chick real far.
I don't know if this is a free action or a constant action, but I want to see if these guys are normal wolves. Obviously, creatures in this godforsaken place has been changed somewhat. Are they count as wolves? Have they been
What I'll
affected
say
somehow?
is that if you are making a check that does count as an action, and tossing Mira is already your action. So you can do it next turn, but that would take a whole action.
I'll keep that in mind for next action. I'll just repair myself, because I know now that I got all three of them looking at me.
They're all eyeballing you right now. You got an audience. Perfect. Okay. The large wolf on the other side of the bridge lumbers and kind of gets back onto all fours and kind of just slowly towers over all three of you. And then with that, he's pissed at you, Estahl. So he is going to do something not so nice.
Bring it on.
Cool, I'm clicking on things.
I saw that and thought it was from a wolf. I was very confused.
No, Ooh. Okay. So you take with its first attack, it lunges at you, this lightning reflex, and actually bites your arm, kind of almost crushing it, and you take 3 damage from that. Also, roll Constitution for me.
That save?
Yep, you got it. Okay, gotcha. And then with the, he kind of releases you, and as soon as he releases you, you feel a claw just like bash you across the head. And that you take 10 damage.
Ow. Alright.
Ouch.
Alright.
And then that it kind of backs up. It doesn't move out of range, but it just kind of backs up and kind of is looking at all of you simultaneously, just kind of back and forth, waiting for the next attack. That we move on to the twins. Irina is going to take some swings here. So her first swing, the wolf actually anticipates. He sees it kind of coming, but what it didn't anticipate is that first swing was a feint. And she kind of swings her sword low and then just jabs it straight into its shoulder and then pulls it out and then kind of rakes it across its chest as it kind of pulls it out. You see blood kind of spurt out and the wolf howls in pain, just absolutely, enraged and in pain. And she kind of looks at you and says, "Are you okay? That was nasty. Are you alright?"
I'm fine. Been worse. And she very clearly does not look fine, but she looks unfazed.
She kind of puts she gets in a fighting stance. She's like, "I think we have this." And then Ismark kind of looks, it's Ismark's turn, and he looks at you, Angus, and says, "That was a hell of a throw," and knocks an arrow and shoots it at the wolf directly to your right. He actually, with skill that has come from years and years of hunting in these woods, he knocks an arrow, launches it, and by the time the arrow gets halfway between him and that wolf, he's already knocked another arrow and launched it again. Both find it dead in the center. One goes into an eye, the other goes straight in its face, and it just goes, it is dead. Like, you've never seen a creature die that quickly before. Swings his hair in the breeze and says, "All in the day's work." No, nothing that creepy.
Serious.
But with that, Zen, it is your turn.
Okay, are Angus and the smaller wolves more than 30 feet away from me?
So the span of the bridge is about 30 feet. So yes, it would be exactly 30 feet. I would say about 25. I should say 25 because they are kind of encroaching into the bridge.
From me.
Got this.
Correct, from you.
Okay. So, seeing Angus surrounded and knowing that if our cleric dies, we're in trouble, and Irina seems to have this handled, I'm going to... you'll see the echo kind of dissipate a little bit, and it's going to glide 30 feet away from Zen. So, I'm assuming it travels about 25 past her, because it was on the other side of the wolf.
Yes. Now, does it incur opportunity attacks? I'm not sure about with your.
That's a good question. It
I don't
might.
see anything that says it does not.
Well, you know what?
So
It's not considered a creature, is the thing. It's considered an object that occupies a space. It's a little weird. That's how do you want to roll it?
Yeah, so just in terms of making sure it's not too overpowered, we will allow it to have opportunity attacks because it is, as much as it's an object, it is still technically you. As it moves away, it doesn't matter anyway. The wolf is so preoccupied with Irina after that nasty cut that he doesn't even see the echo form kind of gliding away. And so, yes, the echo form is now currently side by side with Angus, kind of wherever you want it positioned.
So, and then you'll see Zen, she actually lowers her sword, and then looks like she's about to dash, and then her form dissipates into smoke, and shoots forward and solidifies where the echo is. And then the echo is by the wolf, the big wolf now.
Fantastic. So your echo is where you were just before, right in front of the wolf, and you
Yes.
are currently next to Angus, right? Okay.
Mhm.
Now, does that cost an action? To
You
do
know what?
that?
I just realized it takes a bonus action to move it and then a bonus action to teleport. So if we
Okay.
want to say that it's just there and I'll teleport maybe later, we can do
For
that
the
too.
sake of keeping it straight, we'll say that it's currently there and you're still in front of the wolf, but
Okay.
we'll get to that definitely.
And then so in that case, she'll take the sword and she'll go for the big wolf, but then you'll see the sword almost shimmer as the echo sword solidifies, and she'll attack with the echo sword instead. The wolf next to Angus. All right, so it'll be. No, I don't think that hit. That's a 5. No, that's a 10.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no.
Disoriented.
You're still kind of split focused between you and your echo, and you're kind of like planning out a lot of kind of almost complex things because controlling your echo knight is alone very difficult. Being face to face with this giant wolf is also very difficult. So you raise your sword and kind of bring it down, but it just hits just shy of the wolf, and the wolf doesn't really take notice. He's still eyeballing Irina.
Oh, I was attacking the smaller wolf.
Oh, with the okay, gotcha. Yeah,
But I'm sure their AC is still higher than 10.
it is. It is. So replace large wolf and looking at Irina with small wolf and looking at Angus.
Cool. And that ends my turn.
Now we have the two smaller wolves. So one is going to, the one on, that was originally Mira's, is going to make an attack on Angus here. That just hits. Okay, so you take 5 damage, and please make a strength saving throw, Angus. Your original plan worked, so your echo is in front of the, of the wolf.
New class, guys.
No worry, it's new to me. I haven't really seen this in action before, so this is...
Thank you. You're here. Thank you. I rolled 7, exactly like Mira.
Perfect. You are knocked prone, so it's the same wolf too. This one's just like really good at whatever like wolf jujitsu is. He's just like super good at it. He's just like, and then you're like on the ground. So with that, the other wolf again seeing this is like, oh yeah, nice. Is gonna make an attack at you with advantage, which I'm glad because I just rolled a nat 1.
Wait. Before you roll, gotta roll concentration check.
Oh, for Bane.
Use the concentration.
Yeah.
19.
Okay. Yep. You maintain it.
Where
You're
was this 19 when I needed it?
All right, and then still has Bane. Damn. Okay. So the wolf kind of lunges at your throat, but you luckily kind of like roll just out of the way, and it kind of like plunk with the wood of the.
Don't eat me.
And then it pulls back, and it's just like. And with that, it is Mira.
I'm useless here. I'm just gonna cast mage armor to increase my AC to 7.
Yeah, you took a turn to like really Estahl. Out of curiosity, how much health do you have right now?
I have 6 health.
Oh no.
No.
Lovely.
That 10 health was
Trying to free angry.
a spicy hit.
That was a spicy hit. Yep.
She is now going to hold out her hand, and she is going to poison spray this big old wolf.
That does hit.
The window just crashed.
Oh no.
Ah.
So that is a 9. Now, describe to me, how do you imagine that the poison spray works for your character? Because there's a lot of different ideas of how it works for the UNT. So
For her, it's definitely much more like how a normal spell would get cast, where you have without like the verbal or somatic components, where she actually has to like do a movement for it to happen. It's less of like a puff of gas as it's more of like a spray directed in like one direction, and then as soon as it basically hits its target, it just immediately like dissipates so that it doesn't hang around in the air.
you do the magic wooblies with your hands, and the poison spray kind of launches out and hits the wolf directly in the face. In fact, he kind of like swallows a little bit accidentally. And you see him just go... And you can tell that you have... you continue to be a thorn in this guy's side.
And to preserve my life, to continue to be a thorn in his side, I'm going to disengage as my bonus action. She's kind of just like advancing backwards, so she's still facing it the whole time.
Okay. Gotcha. Anything else?
Nope, that is it.
Angus, you are currently prone, remember this?
I will get up, look at Zen, then I look towards the big wolf to assess how it's doing. Saw Irina there herself with the echo, I believe. Then I look at Estahl.
Estahl looks like shit.
Yeah, she got real messed up.
It's rare that I see her like this, and I turn towards Zen, and I'll be right back. I think that Estahl kind of needs my help. And with my I'll use my action to disengage and run 15 feet towards where Estahl is. That's the rest of my movement. Can I reach her or no?
Oh yeah. No, you absolutely can, because she backed up a little bit, so she's like probably 15 feet away, so you had that right in the money.
Look at her. You look like shit. Oh, really? You do?
Kind of just laughs.
Oh, don't laugh. Just sort of lift my hand and slap gently at her shoulder and cure wound you at first level. Have a fair healing, I say, for later.
Cure wound's an action.
It is an action.
Wait, no, cure wound's an action. True. You know what? I'll still slap you anyway.
Do you have healing word?
I do, but
It might not be worth it.
yeah, don't run off just yet.
It is the big boy's turn, and he's looking directly at Irina.
Oh no. That's the echo.
You see, he kind of like, you can't comprehend how just quick this, like, such a large beast is. But he lunges straight at her, his mouth kind of like trying to go straight for her throat. And she, out of nowhere, this lithe form just kind of dances out of the way as the teeth kind of chomp down with absolute force behind it. Out of hesitation, the claws come up from the ground, scooping up a little bit of dirt at the same time and just launch out at her. But as she moved away from the jaws of this beast, she actually ducks and rolls kind of mid-air. It's just like a weird action movie star type thing, and kind of flips in mid-air and dodges this claw and comes up ready with her blade in front of her, her eyes calm, staring at this ferocious beast.
Fantastic.
Fall even more in love. What the hell is with these two siblings?
She is actually gonna make some moves too. These two are in pitched combat now. They are like locked on each other. She takes a swing with her blade, but the wolf kind of backs out of the way. She lunges again at his chest, but with that he kind of knocks the sword away. As he does this, she uses the momentum of him knocking the sword away and brings it to bear on his thigh as he's standing kind of upright, hits this wolf directly in the back thigh, and you just hear another howl of pain. Yeah, you see a spurt of blood just come out, and all of a sudden you realize you're looking at this wolf. He's got like the remains of the poison spray on his face. He's bleeding from just all over. He comes back down, and all of a sudden you're starting to see he doesn't have that look of ferociousness in his eyes anymore. He's kind of eyeballing the whole situation. Ismark attempts to, he takes a arrow, knocks it, and launches it at the wolf, the Mira side wolf, but it flies very wide. He tries to take another arrow from his quiver. However, he accidentally unlatches the quiver, and the quiver falls to the ground, his arrows, and he looks at Angus and he's like, can't win them all. It is Zen's turn.
Alright. So I'm gonna turn and square off again. There's 3, right?
2. 1 has already been handled by...
I'm going to burn an action surge. So I guess you'll see kind of like Zen's eyes get really intense. And then she's just gonna take one swing at the wolf next to her.
Alright.
Jeez Louise. Does a 12 hit?
No.
Rolling so low. Alright. Other attacks, same wolf. Ah, there we go. 22.
That hits. Yes. 100% that hits.
Okay.
That's a +10 from your previous one.
Yeah, I know, right? And then that's 4 on the dice, plus 5, so 9.
All right. Yeah, you just like the weird vibrational look of like your echo magic kind of comes over you, and it like solidifies into your sword, and your sword is kind of like doing this. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Have you guys seen the movie Dune yet? I don't want to spoil anything.
Yes,
Yes.
I have.
Okay,
No,
so you know
but I've
the
seen
shield
clips from
so no
the old one.
Yeah. Okay, no spoilers at all, but you know the shield effect that they have where it kind of like vibrates? Imagine that's what I'm
Okay.
imagining in my brain whenever you do like kind of like echo stuff.
I like it.
Your sword, it all concentrates on your sword and it's vibrating, and you just bring it down on top of this wolf and you cut a huge gash into it. It is hurting. It is kind of limping. It cannot use its like front paw, its front right paw, and it kind of like looks up and it's scared. You don't even need a nature roll for that. It's scared.
Vengeance!
Yeah. And is there anything else you'd like to do?
No, I don't think I can do anything else.
Perfect. All right, Mira.
I am going to try once to fire an Eldritch Blast. I think the wolf that Zen just attacked.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, the one that's real hurt.
Oh, get it. Yeah.
All right, you don't have to
Real.
roll damage. Don't even roll damage. Tell me how you do it.
Alright, so Mira has like she's just finished like casting mage armor on herself, and she's kind of like really frustrated that she keeps missing every time she tries to do something. She sees Zen like looking real badass doing her sword shit, so she just like she just launches her hand forward, and this stream of purple energy comes out and just like blasts right into the chest of the wolf.
Perfect. Yeah, I imagine like you kind of get launched and you stand up and you take like this deep breath and like a moment of serenity comes over you, and all of a sudden you just like launch this like blast, and, like all the wind kind of like changes. It's kind of like a Avatar: The Last Airbender moment where like the wind kind of follows your Eldritch Blast and it just hits this wolf square in the fucking chest and eviscerated it. So one wolf has like 2 arrows for eyes. One is a blackened char on this bridge, and one is kind of
The big one.
it's life choices.
We're like, I think Arena's the only one who's really damaging the big one. Was Arena the only one who drew blood?
Yes.
Yeah, that big wolf's special. There's something weird about it.
Oh, you're. Did Annabelle say she was stepping away?
I don't know.
Sorry, did I? No, I'm listening. I think I might have missed.
Oh yeah.
I think I might have missed. Sorry, I was maybe listening a little too hard.
No worries.
So now that I have backed away from the big wolf, is it still within like 10 feet or so of me? Like I didn't
So
get
yeah,
that far from
you're about 10-15. Yeah, so you're within that range. Yes.
Right. He's gonna poison it again. Spray it again. That would be a negative. Okay.
Aw.
Yeah,
I'm gonna assume
you
10 doesn't hit.
yeah, you do your wibbly wobblies and launch the poison spray, but the strong gust that just came through because of the Eldritch Blast kind of knocks it awry, and it just kind of floats off, not hitting.
And she's just gonna back up a little bit more.
Okay, gotcha. So get a little bit closer to Ismark. Okay.
Right, and that's my turn.
Angus, your turn.
I want to look at the wolf. How bad is he?
He's fine. Yeah, nobody said it.
Oh, I meant the big one.
Oh, the big one. Oh yeah, he's looking rough. He's looking pretty rough.
I turn around, look at Estahl, and say, Estahl, my apologies. In about 6 seconds, I swear. and then I turn around and I sacred flame the big wolf.
Make that hit. Make that roll.
Oh, that's just a deck saving throw.
You roll,
Oh, yeah,
which is
sacred
a
flame,
really
sacred
bad
flame.
because he probably has a lot of gags, but I
That's
can
a great
roll.
cantrip, though. I like it.
It really is.
I really love
Oh my
sacred flame.
god.
You
Yeah,
roll
that
that
definitely
20.
doesn't work. No. Quite the opposite. Not a nat 1, but definitely not. It's definitely not succeeding. So, yeah, you hit.
I hit?
Yeah.
Did?
Yeah. Go ahead, roll that damage.
Okay, well, both Angus and I are shocked.
5.
I want to look at his reaction really close.
Sure. Yeah, so you kind of summon the sacred flame and launch it at this wolf, and it hits it kind of in the shoulder. You see it kind of singes the hair, and it howls in pain. The kind of the skin underneath is like reddened, and it kind of howls. It's like, oh,
Does it turn to look at me?
oh yeah. It's kind of at this point you can see it's panicked. It's looking at everybody. Now it's looking at you where it wasn't before, but
Right.
it's definitely looking at everyone.
It's looking. Well, since I have some of its attention, I look straight into its eye and I said, "Hey, do you believe me if I say I can do that just about any time?" And I sort of light up my hand, sort of, okay, not real, because I can't shoot Sacred Flame again, but make it look like I'm about to shoot it, throw another one right into its face.
Are you trying to intimidate? Is that what you're going for?
Yes, I'm trying to scare him to run away and maybe bring his minion with him.
Okay. Yeah. Roll intimidation, but with with advantage.
Hey, I can totally do this, okay?
How intimidating is Angus really, though?
Listen, if a wet string bean could be intimidating, that would be Angus. But
Exactly.
listen, this wolf he's hurt. So
10. With
Gotcha.
no modifier.
Gotcha. So he kind of locks eyes with you as you say this, but then just keeps like looking at all.
I think
His main focus is Irina, but he is keeping eyeballs on everybody.
Could also be my shaky leg. I was literally shaking in my boot.
You're over there like, defeat you, and you're just like shaking in the wind. Your whole armor just like.
And you guys can hear like the racket I'm making as I shake all over. Even though it's been like a year, guys. We fight stuff, but I'm still scared somehow.
Gotcha. So it is the big bad wolf. This guy's going to disengage, and he is running for the hills. He immediately runs into
Yes.
the mists of the woods and just hightails it. And yeah, Irina, she doesn't follow. She kind of turns back to the other wolf and starts to make her way towards that wolf. And the twin. Why do I keep saying twin? They're not. At no point are they twins. I want to make that clear. They are not twins. I don't know why I keep saying that.
Yeah, starting to make me
Badass.
like think that they're twins.
They're not twins. I don't know why I keep saying that. He grabs one arrow and knocks it and pulls it back and shoots it awry. He grabs another one from the ground, knocks it, and hits True in the neck. Well, it's not a killing blow. That wolf is now hurt. With that, it's Zen's turn.
Alright, just gonna look at it with my sword, and I'm gonna try and stab downwards. If the dice let me. Does a 13 hit?
It does.
Oh my god.
It does. Just barely. It hits.
That is 8 damage.
Tell me how you do it.
So yeah, she takes the blade high, and then she'll flip it down, and then just stab straight down through its head.
And it's dead. By the time it hits the ground, it is dead.
So in Angus's mind, his intimidation totally works.
I was like, hey,
Like in Angus's mind, he shoots Sacred Flame, the test worked, he scared the wolf away. I mean, look, he throws Mira away, managed to run away from 3 wolves by himself.
Yeah, he just made a giant wolf terrified. Yeah.
Exactly.
I imagine that puts one little tiny hair on the half-elf's chest. Not as possible, but it's just like boop,
Imaginary hair, okay?
Exactly.
Love it. That's great.
So we are a little over time. I kind of wanted to get you guys to a certain point, but if you want to call it there, that's fine.